Can a family of 3 live in the UK with just £1,000 per month? Actually, it depends on which side of the UK you are. Hi, welcome to Impact with Alice. On this channel, I share information about scholarship opportunity, externship, job-related offers, and other opportunities that you can navigate on your journey abroad. In my video today, I'm making this short video for you to know that UK is not heaven. And by heaven, I mean it's not all bed of roses. I've been living in the UK for the past close to 6 years now, and I can tell you that if you move to the UK with the hope of landing on a bed of roses, on a bed of honey, my darling, do not be disappointed, because I'm sorry to break it to you, the UK is not heaven. It's not paradise. And I'm saying this because I've received messages from some friends about them selling some property to be able to come to the UK so as to find a better life for their family. However, I want you to know that you can actually sell all these things to move to the UK and find a better job, but in the first 2 or 3 months, finding the right job for you might not happen if you do not come in with a job offer. Let's, for instance, you've sold everything that you have in your country to be able to finance your studies to come to the UK. If during your studies, your studies do not come with a scholarship, it means you're going to be studying and working 20 hours per week in order to be able to support your living expenses in the UK. Can you then see that with the minimum pay per hour, if you are being paid about £9 or £10 per hour, even though you are just working 5 hours per day to be able to support your living in the UK, if you times 5 hours per day by 10, that's £50, and at the end of the week is £200. By the end of the month, you might have made about £800 or £900. So let's break down the cost of living in the UK. Before now, you can live comfortably in the UK with about £800 as a single person. And this is because, for instance, if you are living in a city like Exeter, where I did my PhD, at Exeter, for you to be able to get a double room, the price ranges from about £350 to £450. You might be unlucky to even find one that is in the £650 range. So imagine, from the £800 that you are earning per month, the average rent, let's say, is £450 or £500. You're going to be paying, where you are working or your school is far from where you are living, then you should be estimating that you'll be spending close to about £80 or £100 on transportation per month. That now comes to about how much? 450 plus 84. That's almost like 540. And you're going to be feeding, right? So if, let's say, you are more prudent in your spending, you learn to economize, you're going to be spending close to £150 per month, which is around £700 at the end of the month, and you're left with £100. Can you see that on a minimum 20 hours per week work as a student, we fetch you barely just to survive? And one thing that you should know is that as a student, when your studentship comes to an end, the university revokes your sponsorship, because they are the ones sponsoring your study visa. So meaning, if you are here to do a master's in the UK and your master is a 1-year program and you are barely saving less than £200 per month, it means by the time your study is finishing, you'll be having close to 3,000 or 4,000 in your account. That sounds good, but what is the major challenge here is that if you then finish and you don't find a sponsored job immediately after your studies, then you are in a limbo. Limbo? What's a limbo? Then you're in a dilemma, because you still be paying rent after your studies, and even though the government have announced that students can now apply for a 2 years postgraduate visa after their masters, my dear, this visa is not for free, meaning you'll be paying an application fee of close to £900 and a health surcharges which ranges around £650 per year. For that 2-year visa, that's already a 1,300 for health surcharges and a visa fee of 950, bringing it down to about 2,200 and something out of the 4,000 that you've saved during your studies, meaning you are left with 1,800, and you're still going to be paying for rent. So you see, you need to be strategic when you're coming to the UK. You have options. When your studies is finishing, you can either apply for a PhD so that you can go into research, and then be able to develop yourself professionally and academic wise. The other option for you that is available for you if you are not looking to do a PhD is that you can actually, during the last 3 to 4 months of your studies, you can actually look for internship positions. These internship positions help you to gain international working experience, and with this experience you can then search for a job, because most jobs in the UK or anywhere, when you don't have any experience, only few of these recruiters are willing to take chances with students that do not have experience in the role that they're applying to. And this is why when your studies is finishing, instead of rushing to start searching for a job, I would recommend you actually search for internship and job at the same time, so that if one option is not available, the other can be available to you. So what other thing do you need to consider before you move to the UK? You need to consider that the course you are coming to study in the UK, is it the type of course that will help you to be able to find a job? Is it on the shortage occupation list? Meaning, is it one of the hot cake jobs in the UK? And you know there are many hot cake jobs in the UK in terms of biological sciences, engineering, IT, nursing, anything in the healthcare or medical line, psychology. All these roles, if you are coming to study any of this in the UK, you might be lucky to be finding a job even before your studies is completed. The third thing that you should consider before you sell the properties in your home country to move to the UK is that, are you coming to the UK alone or coming with family? If you are coming with family and you are coming to study, this is going to be challenging. However, if you and your partner are able to find job during the time you are studying, or as you are studying your partner is working, then your life in the UK will be bearable. If you have a child and you are coming to the UK to study on a self-funding visa, meaning you don't have a scholarship, you have a study visa and you have a child, this is even extra challenging, because if your child is not up to 4 years of age, meaning you're going to be paying a daycare fee. And the daycare fee, my dear, is ridiculous depending on where you are. It's one of the reasons I kept my own eggs in the fridge, in the freezer. I'm only kidding. But the money, the cost of nursery in the UK, it's ridiculous. It's up to about £60 per day. So if you imagine, even if you are working minimum of 5 hours per day, the cost of the child care, it already exceeds that of the money you are earning per day. So that's why you should not move with a child as a single parent. I won't recommend it, especially if you're not on scholarship. If you're on scholarship, then you don't have anything to worry, you can manage. If there are many things I can actually tell you. I don't want to chase you away or change your mind about living in the UK. After all, I'm living in the UK. In the UK, you get free healthcare. It's not completely free because you already pay health charges, at least for that first time, especially for the times you're on visa. One thing I can say is that there's always electricity. You can be comfortable. If I'm to look back, if I was living in my country, I cannot compare the quality of life I have here in the UK to what I would have had if I was living in my country, because there in my country, electricity is not constant. Broadband, not available. Broadband is not cheaply available to an average person. So it means that I always have to depend on mobile data, and this mobile data is also limited, meaning you can run out of data within a week. And here there is Wi-Fi even in school. In some buses there is Wi-Fi. So you see, there are things that makes life to be comfortable in the UK. And if you are strategic and you have friends that gives you information, information is power. If you do not know this information, you will just be there and be wondering how your friends are excelling. However, if you're able to get yourself connected in your community, seek information at work and every other thing, then you are good to go. So this is why today's information is specifically for students coming to the UK on a self-funding visa. Today's information is specifically for students coming to the UK on a self-funding visa. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.